Hey, yo, it's me, Pops Fan Marmalade, and you're watching the Comics-Related Madness Network. Uh-huh. So come get some. CromCon. CromCon.
If you're a fan of comic books and comic book conventions, Daytona Beach Comic Con needs to be on your list of must-attend events. It's a show that actually focuses on comic books. Imagine that! This year's event is happening on Saturday, September the 6th, and Sunday, September the 7th. Silverline creators will be there, so we'll see you at the show. There's a new convention in town, and it's sure to be mega fun without the mega expense. Comics, toys, collectibles, pop culture. ShadowCon, Saturday, February 1st, 2025 in Orlando, Florida. Silverline creators will be there, so we'll see you at the show. If you find yourself in the Orlando area, and let's be honest, doesn't everyone come to Orlando for the House of Mouse? Head over to Coliseum of Comics to get your comic book fix. Be sure to check out their location on East Colonial Drive, where they carry a wide selection of independent comics, including Silverline books. Stop by and don't forget to tell them Silverline sent you. Hey, if you're an independent comic creator looking to get your comic printed, look no further than Kablam Digital Printing. They print our comics and do a fantastic job. They can even print special edition covers. When you reach out to them, be sure to tell them Silverline sent you.
Hi, this is Tim TK, host of That Silverline Show on Tuesday. Join us at 11 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Pacific every Tuesday night as we discuss pop culture and the joys of making comics.
Hi, I'm Barb Kelber, co-host of Silverline's Wednesday Wham. Join us each Wednesday night as we discuss comics, literature, movies, and anything else that may catch our attention.
I'm Roland Mann, and I host Silverline's Silver Sunday. Join me every Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern as we make mine Silverline. Everyone, and welcome to Silverline Silver Sunday. This Sunday, March the 23rd. Oh my gosh, it's March the 23rd already. I am your host, Adam Rollman, and I'm joined by a gaggle of folks tonight. First, start over here, Mr. Where's my fingers? Mike W. Belcher, that man in the mask guy. What's up, Mike?
Howdy, guys.
And right below, we're like Hollywood Squares almost tonight.
I need better
below,
jokes then.
Yeah. Right below Mr. Belcher is Thomas Flormani Jr. He loves the party.
Oh, party. Oh.
And, of course, Mr. Tom Mason, less cat and more mouse.
That's right. I have strong opinions.
And the human digital colors supreme, Mr. Bert Conroy.
Hey.
And we have a special guest with us tonight, slinger of inks himself, Mr. Jose Fuentes.
Woo! Hello, everybody.
I love a special guest.
Who is
Oh, that's a slinger. I thought it said he was a swinger. Oh, my bad.
Hey, this in the 1960s, man.
Oh, sorry.
That was Vince Coletta was the swinger of inks, from what I hear.
Swinger of inks. Hey, why did it error? I got an error popping up. Said something didn't post. Okay, I don't know. Yeah. So there's a lot of fun stuff happening, and of course we're launching our Cat and Mouse Vipers #1 campaign in all of about 25 minutes. So we want to build it up a little bit, get you guys anticipating it, and then as soon as it goes live, we want you to run over there and be the first. You know, you guys remember the when the internet was first popping up, and you would post something, and the first response would always be somebody goes first,
First,
Yeah, remember
Yeah.
that?
It's
They
for
didn't.
like
They didn't.
2 or 3 years.
Yeah,
I still
they
do
didn't,
that.
they didn't add anything to the conversation. They just
No.
said first.
Yeah.
Let's see. KC White Riot says, "Woo!" Thanks for hanging out with us, KC. Ask any questions you might have. By the way, KC, that's what we're here to do. We're here to answer. We're here to answer questions. Tommy posts first in the private chat.
Within reason, Casey. Within reason.
No, ask anything. This is of course a PG-13 stream, but ask anything, and we will answer it. We will
Well,
find a way to answer.
The good
And you
news is it'll be
substitute
intense.
words for things that you're not supposed to say.
That's right, because
Hey,
there are
listen.
euphemisms for everything.
There are, and listen, we're comic book writers. We can speak in Grolix.
What?
Oh, look at
That's
you!
Klingon?
Look at you pulling out the words.
Ampersand question mark.
That's right.
Comic books has its own
lightning
special
bolt.
language. Yeah. Kids today don't speak in Grolix very much.
That is right. Casey White Riot says anything. Of course, Casey, bring it.
Except for-
we love a challenge. No, anything for Jose, of course, especially. So before we get there, a little bit of news. White Devil 2, all at the printer. Anticipate maybe this week, late this week.
Is that Wolf Hunter 2?
Wolf Hunter 2. What'd I say?
You said White Devil too.
Well, I meant. I looked over there and I saw White Devil. I meant Wolf Hunter #2. Yes.
Are you okay, Roland? Do we need to have somebody check on you?
I had ice cream before the show, so you know.
It's the weight of the Silverline Silver Sunday on his head.
That's right. It's
just too much for him.
It's pushing him down.
Push
Well,
him
my
down.
option is to put it over Roberta, and I don't want to do that.
Oh, that's
No, you
okay.
see, Roberta.
I
doesn't wanna
can
do
I
that.
can get lower.
No.
Then it looks like you're spying on us.
Mhm.
Sunday, I could. Oh, I can do that. All right. It's still the same though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what this little. There's a new thing here on StreamYard that says the scenes are in beta. Scenes captures everything you add to the stage, allowing you to plan setups in advance and structure your broadcast like a presentation.
Well, hit it. Do it. Let's play. Let's see it live.
I don't. I'm trying to, and
That sounds
And
like a message from Westworld.
it doesn't do anything. So
The streams are in beta.
I don't. Yeah, streams are in beta, so I don't know. I don't know exactly what it is. Anyway, we are having some fun. We are having some March Madness over on Facebook in the Silverline Comics group. So all you got to do if you want to find that is go to facebook.com/groups/Silverline Comics group, and we are having our own March Madness. I took time to I went online and found a brackets, right? All 64 teams of brackets. And I just went in and randomly, mostly randomly, put these covers on there. Now I say mostly randomly because we needed 64, right? And so what I did want to do, like some of our books have multiple issues, so we like Twilight Grimm 1, 2, 3, 4, Divinity 1, 2, 3, 4. So what I tried to do is put like Divinity 1 in the like the East, Divinity 2 in the Midwest, Divinity 3 in the North, Divinity 4 in the South. To spread those out a little bit. Everything else was just real random.
You
But
gotta tell me how this works. And
I have to own up to something.
what'd you do?
I just picked the books that I did the covers for.
What there's no rule against it.
No.
And does the winner go on to face Alabama or Duke
Uh,
or Gonzaga?
I was going to say, yeah, it had to be Gonzaga because this is basketball, right? So I didn't realize though. I went to go work on it today, and I'm like, oh wait, I can't do anything because the deadline is not until midnight tonight. So I might change those deadlines to maybe like 9 p.m. so I don't have to stay up till. Because
So where can people go to vote?
Yeah, well, go to Facebook/groups/Silverline Comics group, and you'll see the first round has 32 matches, right? So you got to go in. That means there are 64 covers. You just go in and select your cover. all but one of them have the covers within the where you vote. So you're like, hey, I don't know what this cover looks like. You can click on it. The very first one I did, I couldn't figure out how to get the images in there. And so those are in the comments. But the images are all there. If you're like, hey, I don't know. Well, don't laugh at me, Jose. I couldn't figure out how to do it.
I was laughing because that completely explained why I couldn't see the image. I thought I refreshed. I didn't understand what was happening.
Yeah.
You know, if you still had kids in the house, you wouldn't have internet trouble.
Boy, that's fair.
KC said, "Is there going to be a signed holo cover for Cat and Mouse, like by Jose and the rest of the group?" There, you know what? We can make it happen for yours to be signed. There is going to be, and I don't have one yet. Not a holographic, but a foil, and I'm hoping to get that later this week so that we can hold it up. I will grab one.
Foil?
I can show you. You know what? I'm not prepared to show you this. Hold on, I'll get this. Just a second.
You know, it's the launch party.
I know it is the launch party.
Did you need more than a week?
Why does it say KDH Comics up there?
Well,
What did you do?
I just stopped my cam and it says KDH Comics. I don't even know what
That's
that is.
When you talk.
Want me to call your son?
No.
He can come over and do that for you.
Hang on, I'm going to grab a foil cover. I'll be right back.
Right.
I had one right here.
Well, while Roland's screen goes dark, how's everybody doing?
Doing good.
What are you working on?
Are you getting ready for WonderCon?
I am. I leave Wednesday for WonderCon. I'm going to be hanging out there the whole 3 days, and I hope I'm going to meet a guy named Nicholas Meyer, the guy who directed the even-numbered Star Trek movies.
Mm-hmm.
He also wrote a bunch of Sherlock Holmes novels, and he wrote one of my favorite movies that nobody ever talks about because it came out in the 70s. Is Judge Dee and the Monastery Murders.
That's a great name. I gotta look it up.
Yeah, so it's a made-for-TV movie. Also, I think he did a movie called The Day After, which is about the atomic bomb destroying most of the world.
Oh,
that's still my favorite, Time and Time Again.
Oh, that's right. That's one of his too.
That's one of his too.
That's a good one.
And what's funny is it's, the way it looks today, it doesn't look, modern. It looks like a TV movie, but it still holds up. The story still holds up. The acting is great. The performances are really sharp. It's I think it's Mary Steenburgen at her most Steenburgenist.
Exactly.
And Malcolm McDowell, I think, can do anything.
Yeah. Well, David Warner, I mean, he terrified me as a kid because of that movie.
He really is. And the thing is, he does it without being like a scene eater. Like he doesn't growl and threaten or whatever. He's just very calm and orderly and rational. And he's a killer.
This is WonderCon, right?
Yeah. Nicholas Meyer's going to be there.
Nice. Very cool. Yeah. Of course, we need a con report next weekend.
Well, when I host the show next weekend, because of your absence, I will be leading off with the convention report.
Nice. That'll be good. So, photos and videos are good.
Because I'll still be at the show.
Live from the floor. Not from the floor. No, because it's that's you don't want to go where anything could happen. No. Yeah. So, all right. So, as a reminder for those of you who don't know, this is what our foils tend to look like. This is for Beyond the Stars. This is just gorgeous here, right?
This shiny thing.
Yeah, just shiny, beautiful, gorgeous stuff. That's Beyond the Stars. Now, this is the one that will be for the campaign in foil. Yeah,
nice.
And so everywhere you see white, obviously that shiny stuff is going to come. Yeah, going to come really come through. Nicely.
And there's some snakeskin stuff down there at the bottom.
Yeah. Yep. There's this is a great big. I'm pointing the wrong screen. Great big snake, right, wrapped around here. Awesome image by Angelo and Jose and Roberta.
Angelo definitely has very kinetic style.
Oh, he does.
Yeah, very alive.
Yeah, he really does. So Casey, yes, there's going to be a foil cover, and if you want Jose to sign it, we'll make sure that happens.
And he posed that cover really well too, because most covers most modern covers don't convey action like that. They're just really like a pose. Or that is a cover that if you saw it on the stands, it's like, well, I'm interested now.
I'm intrigued.
Yeah,
Yes.
they're
So there's-
jumping and the fangs are out. It's
Yeah.
great.
There's the circular design of the snake that makes a center spread spotlight for the two main characters who are running away from the snake, but also running towards the snake's body at the same time. So it's really really kinetic.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. It's very nice. Yeah, and you know, this one of the we've talked about these things before. I think too many covers are today. There are too many covers out there that are just kind of pin-up posy. They don't tell a story. They look cool, they look good, but they don't really tell a story. And you want your cover to convey some stories. I think all three of these covers. Matter of fact, I'll just go ahead and pop the others up as well. I think all three of them are fantastic.
Well, I think look at that one. That's great too because it still has a circular shape of the snake.
Yep. This is Jose did pencils for this one, and Tommy inked it, and Roberta colored it. So yeah, it's fantastic. I love the way this snake is coming out of the shadow here. Even his arm, part of his hand is poking out of the shadow, right? And this other one, like you said, the circular is wrapped around.
Yep.
Yeah. Yes, it's really nice. And then the final one is Pete did the pencils, Peter Clinton, and Tommy inked it, and Roberta colored it.
Nice. It's a good angle too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love
like
the floor.
I like the way it's slightly tilted, you know?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I especially like the fact that on this version of Cat and Mouse, you brought back the classic logo.
Yeah.
Yes, you did.
Yeah, I did.
What's up with that, Roland?
Yeah, well, you know what? I always liked it. I always felt it had that New Orleans flavor.
Right. It looks like a pub.
Yeah, it looks like something you would see walking down. In my opinion, it looks like something you would see walking down Bourbon Street.
Yeah.
And so I'm just we did change it up just a little bit, and because I wanted it to work with Vipers, and of course the next story we're going to do, I've already got that logo worked out as well, and so I wanted it to work. One of the cool things I think that Brad Tomte did when he worked the Vipers, right? This is in the same has the same look and feel, but you notice this S is a snake here.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it matches up with the little curl on the V as well.
It does. Yeah. So I think Brad did an awesome job on this. I'll tell you, I really we struggled with the logos because I think, you know, I don't know which one I like best.
They can all be different.
Yeah, they can be different. I know. So I don't know. I
so can you just say yes? Which one you like the best? Yes.
Say again.
Like, so can you just say yes? Like, I don't know which one I like the best. Just say yes.
Yes. Yes.
I think I think they all look great. I mean, I give Pete crap all the time about you know putting some effort in, but you know someday he'll actually put effort in instead of just throwing stuff on paper. But you know.
So what I was actually meaning, Jose, was I'm not sure which of the logos I think works the best. I think all the art for all the covers are fantastic.
But I don't think the logo treatments are as important because the Silverline banner, the trade dress, is identical.
Yeah.
So you can still screw around with the name and the placement.
So KC says I want Joe to bring me mine personally also. Well, you know what? I'm gonna have to. I'll have to toss that over to Jose. See what he says.
Well, that's also a level. That's also a tier where you can bid on.
That's right.
You want Jose to come to your house.
KC, do you want him to put a UPS uniform on too?
That's right.
Walk around. I got my DHL uniform.
Great looking cover. Thank you, Levi. I agree. I think I'm stoked about all three of these covers. I think they look fantastic, and they all convey that I think anyway. They all convey a little bit about what the story is, right, as well as some sense of danger, some sense of movement. We got to get in there. We got to see what's going on. So yeah, I'm a big fan of all of them.
And also, I think because it's cat and mouse, you make the distinction of having both cat and mouse on the cover, and I think that's also important as well.
Yes, yeah,
Right.
I agree. I agree. I am stoked about it. This is something that we've been anxious to the team. We've been anxious to get it out to you. So Roberta has really knocked it out the last couple of weeks, and we are ready for you to see it. Okay, so did I finish the March Madness stuff? I got busy talking about the cover, so trying to answer the question. Yeah, there is going to be one of these, and hopefully I will get some big. The problem is these don't scan real well.
Have to be more of a video. Yeah,
it has to be a video. So we'll probably be able
of Tommy.
Yes, I was gonna say we'll probably get a video midweek that we'll be able to update you with. So watch the campaign page for updates, and we'll put that on there so you get a peek at it because it's gonna look fantastic. I already know that. So March Madness, get over there and vote while you can. We'll have the second round tomorrow. I'll have to work on that. I won't be able to get that done immediately because I got to work. But then the second round will be. Let's see, there's 32 teams. Half of that is what? How many games is that?
16.
16. What? No, is that Sweet 16 already?
Half of 32 is Sweet 16. Then Elite 8.
Okay, yeah.
And then Dynamic Duo, and then
that's it. And then the champion.
Yeah.
So so yeah, it ended up once I figured out how to get the images in there, it ended up being pretty easy to do. But I couldn't do it it wouldn't let me do it on my computer. I had to do it on my tablet. So I don't know if it's a tablet versus computer thing.
Could be operator error.
Very well could have been that.
You're saying never?
So let me see. I've got the campaign pulled up here as well.
So is it ready?
What's that?
It's ready. Pretty much.
Yeah, it's ready to go at the bottom of the hour, right?
Campaign is it's ready to go.
How long are we going to run it for?
Hang on, let me figure out
1 month, right?
For where is the doggone?
So we're into April Madness.
I could have sworn it was April 20, but I may be wrong.
Oh, here we go. Okay. All right. So this campaign is not yet started yet. So this is what you're going to see when you get over there. We've got us a video. I don't think if I play it, I don't think you'd be able to hear it anyway. Of course, along the right-hand side, right, you can the big one here is the foil cover. If you just want that's for just the foil. Then if you just want one of these, either the B or C, then you'll pledge here. Right. If you want 2 copies, you can say, well, I want B and C, or I want 2 copies of Jose's cover. Then you can come down here and pledge this one, 2 issues, no foil. And so you can
have all 3 option.
Yep. Then there's the foil cover +1. So you're like, hey, I want the foil, but because I want to, bag and board it and take care of it. But I want one that I can read. So you can get the foil +1 right here. And then there is the completest where you get all 3 of them, the foil cover and Jose's cover and Pete's cover. And then, of course, you can get it digital if that is your preference. Then there's other stuff that you can add in, get a Silverline poster. We'll have to fold that for those of you who are unclear. We'll have to fold unless you get artwork, and then we only fold it once. So the artwork, right, is bigger. And we do have the original art, right? You can get the cover. Here's a big image of it right here. These are what the pencils look like that Jose did for cover B. This is available. And then also the inks are available. These are 2 separate things.
It's fascinating to see how it goes from pencils to inks to color.
I love process. I love. In fact, I may try to convince BJ to do some because she at one point in time she was doing some process videos that would start off and show the pencils, and then it would like fade into the inks, and then fade into the colors, or kind of wipe into the colors. Those were fantastic. I love seeing them. The thing about it is, one of the things I like about like this image is you look at it, right, and you see, of course, I know what the little X's are. But the dark doesn't stand out to you, and this is one of the things I've always been impressed with artists about. Is like Jose can look at that and just say, okay, I know all this is black, right?
Yeah,
because he sees it in his mind's eye as the artist, and I have to see it like that because that's what all that it's all black.
Right.
And where I see the X's, I think those are tweets.
Every single one of them, all over the place.
Yeah, that's
so many comments.
That's where the inker puts in the tweets.
Right.
Right.
And then of course there's the inked version of cover C. That's also
nice. That's really impressive in black and white.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Other things that you can get here. Other things you can get here if you missed one of the back issues, the whole list of back issues that you can get. And then if you want some sets, I know a lot of times folks say, "Well, I didn't get any of the first Cat and Mouse volume."
Right.
Right here is where you can come and get it. You can go boom right there. I get Cat and Mouse volume. The volume. It's actually volume 2 for those who don't know. You can get volume 2, issues 1 through 4. And of course, you can also get Divinity, K-List, Trumps, or Twilight Graham. But those are all available there. And then, of course, we have some 3-issue miniseries that you can get, which includes Fire Rush, Switchblade, and Teen Beetle. Angelo says he's going to be contributing some more pages from pencil pages from the issue, but I don't have those from him yet. There's a couple of other things I'm thinking about asking maybe Jose and Angelo to do, but I haven't done that yet. So sketches.
Jose, did you ink any of the pages on paper?
So no, I didn't. All the pages, all the pages I did digitally, but
that's my fault. My fault.
It is. I do have an older Cat and Mouse sketch cover.
Hold that up again.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, look at that.
So you got a volume 1 that you could do. Nice.
Yeah.
And which is the tier where Roland and BJ come to your house and make a goulash?
Goulash.
Or a gumbo.
Gumbo. Okay, there you go. She makes
I got confused.
She makes a mean jambalaya.
Oh, there we go. That's even better.
Yeah. I don't know that she's ever made goulash.
How much okra do you put in a jambalaya?
Okra. It's okra.
Okra,
because we're from Mississippi, so it's okra.
It's the powder.
Okra sounds like a Marvel villain from the 70s.
The powder.
Just the roux and all that good stuff.
All right, so if my clock is right, we've got 2 minutes till launch. So let me look. Let's see here. Hey, it's just a bunch of highs. So yeah, if anybody you out there in the chat land have any questions, fire away. So the basic concept for this is Cat and Mouse are fighting human trafficking in New Orleans, and the story starts off. You can see here from these covers. There's Cat's got a kid in his arms here, and of course, in Jose's there's a kid in between the two of them. These giant snakes are creeping into people's homes and stealing kids out of them, and that's part of the human trafficking ring. And so, Cat and Mouse are on it, trying to put a stop to it, and that's essentially where our story starts. Can't tell you how it ends up because then I'd be telling you the resolution of the story. But yeah, they're going to have to go fight a whole bunch of snakes and stop them from stealing kids and putting them on the human trafficking market. So, superheroes. Yes, go ahead.
So when you came up with this, did you know that snakeheads were a slang term for the people who bring immigrants into the U.S. across the border illegally?
I did not know that. Now I've heard the term coyote, but I've never heard of snakeheads.
Yeah, snakeheads. I think it's a gang that does it. If you watch enough cop shows, as I do,
Yeah.
they will eventually do a border crossing episode, and they will refer to the people who bring people across the border as snakeheads.
I did not know that. I like that.
There you go.
That's interesting.
I may have to figure out some way to use that. When I first started writing the story, right, I wanted it to be different from Volume 1 of Cat and Mouse from the 90s. I wanted it to be something different. And so I started doing all the research on the human trafficking. It's always something that's kind of reached out and touched me a little bit. It's like, this is something I think it's a big problem that we have that our society just seems to ignore. Again, this is kind of my take on it. I'm not trying to, convince anyone else that that's what you ought to believe, but this was kind of my take on it. And I'm like, how can we let all this get away when it's happening? We complain about, all these other things in society, but yet human trafficking is happening right here, right now in our cities. And of course, as a parent, right, that spoke to me even more, because I'm like, well, what happened if it was my kids, right? What would I be doing? How would I react to that? And so I just did a whole bunch of research and found out that New Orleans is one of the big human trafficking centers. Orlando is as well. Where I think Orlando, when I first started looking this up, Orlando was this in the top 3.
Is that because of the harbor, the ports?
I think it's because of the. What did you say, Jose?
Nothing.
Oh, I think it's because of the tourism. So many tourists are here.
Okay.
Yeah, and so it's just
you can just grab one easy.
You can just grab one easy, and then if you can't speak English, if you're from Ukraine, or Afghanistan, and over here going to Disney World, and your kid gets kidnapped, you can't communicate really well because you don't speak real good English. I don't speak good English either. Then what are you going to do, right? It's even more difficult for you trying to communicate with authorities.
That's why Roland Band Private Eye goes into work.
That's right. Yeah. So another fun thing in this is, and this is, I want to tell this because I want this to be something for folks to be looking for. I'm introducing a couple of new detectives, and there's going to be a new detective branch in the New Orleans Police Department, which is going to be a supernatural. A couple supernatural detectives. And so at the lead of that, right, is going to be the rumors and the stories of the Loup Garou, which is basically, this is demon, right? These guys have all been seeing this big wolf dog human monster, and that's demon. But when the snakes pop up, this is going to be just another one. This is going to, obviously the Loup Garou thing has been going on for a while, but the snakes are going to be what take their attention. So I'm introducing a couple of detectives in this story. They're going to play a big role in the next over the next several arcs. I've got some fun things planned for all of them, which they're fun to me anyway. I hope they'll be fun to you. But so yeah, their names are Detectives Marble and Mud.
Oh, I read that when I was proofreading this stuff. I pointed out to you, I think, how much I like those guys.
Yep.
Because they're fun, and they're a good counterbalance to some of the more serious aspects of Cat and Mouse.
Yeah. My inspiration from the two of them comes from Bones. If you remember the relationship with Booth and Bones,
yes,
I liked the back and forth that the two of them had, particularly in the early seasons. Right, yes. The relationship that the two of them had. That's kind of where my inspiration from the two comes from. And there's a little bit of Mulder and Scully, although I don't want it to be quite like that. But I can't remember the name of that show now.
X-Files.
X-Files. Thank you.
You could also say Tony and Ziva from NCIS.
Tony and Ziva, absolutely. I 100%. So there's gonna be a little bit of that in it, but yeah, they get introduced in this issue. So so I'm excited about that. I think we may be live now. Let me refresh here and see if we are live.
All right. Is the link in the chat?
The link is in the chat. It is Silverline Comics crowdfunder superheroics.com.
All right.
And I don't want to remove it. How do I?
What does the first pledge get?
I can say first.
That's it.
Yeah, you can say first. Yeah. All right. So yeah, we are now live. So hop over to
Yay.
Silverline Comics crowdfunder.com. Now, if you're like, hey, just go to fund my comic, and you'll notice when it pops up, we're going to be right here on the first page.
There we
There you
go.
go.
So we're not at the very top, but we're going to be easy for you to find. If you can't remember our the Silverline Comics crowdfunder.com, just go to fundmycomic.com, and we pop up as one of the featured picks. So so it's easy. Get on over there and pledge now. I guess I could leave this like that so nobody's got words on their head. All right, so you guys got any questions about any of this?
I do.
All right, fire away, Tom.
So where does this fit into cat and mouse continuity?
So this fits into cat and mouse continuity. This happens shortly after volume 2.
Okay.
The one that we completed the end of last year, the one that's in Diamond right now.
Right.
This occurs after that. So cat and mouse are already together. They're still fresh together. So they're not
Right.
They're not an experienced team yet, but they're fresh together. Widowmaker has well, I don't want to give away everything from the first volume for those who didn't check it out, but Widowmaker from the first volume has, let's just say, she's now out of the picture, and so cat and mouse are trying to figure out what their new lives in New Orleans are going to be, because they elect to, neither one of them are from New Orleans, so they elect to stay there in New Orleans to combat human trafficking. Both of them in completely different situations. Mouse as kind of a homeless girl who's living with the karate instructor, and Brett who's living with his pal who's a police officer, sergeant.
I always think it's funny. There's a common trope in superhero comics where two people or even one person gets into a sort of a trauma-inducing experience, and the answer is, you know what? I'm just going to fight crime. I'm going to put on a costume. I'm going to fight some crime, and we accept that without criticism, because that's the trope of comic books. That's what it is. It's like, okay, somebody burned down my house, somebody kidnapped my kids, somebody is running a school for assassins or whatever. I'm going to put on a costume and I'm going to fight people.
I'm going to fight crime.
That's right. And I think that's because I've never actually met anybody in real life who says that.
No,
but it's the classic. It's a classic comic book setup,
No, maybe you have, but because
maybe
secretive, you don't know.
Maybe they're keeping secrets, and I don't even know.
I mean, if we're going Batman, we can't tell you we're going Batman.
I know. Come on, Tom.
Yeah.
All right. Point taken. All right. So now, where? So you said you had done a lot of research about this, but where was the idea planted first? Where did you?
For the human trafficking?
Yeah, did you come up with the? Did you see something on the news? Did you read it in a book? Did you?
Well, the first series kind of felt like that too.
No. The first series is a human trafficking. Yeah. The whole theme for what they're doing now is going to be human. So in the first volume from the 90s, right? This was all about them being kind of Robin Hood.
Right.
They were stealing. They were kind of fighting the mafia, the Yakuza. They were fighting the bad guys, but there was really no. I mean, they were just fighting the bad guys, right?
Right. They were not at a personal stake.
Yeah, there was nothing there, and so I didn't want them to just be doing the same thing that they did, in the 90s, and so I just kind of what can be their go-to, right? What is their mission? What are they trying to do? And so I'm a big fan of Andrew Vox. You guys have probably heard me talk about him before. The writer, the author Andrew Vox, and he deals with that kind of content in a lot of his books. And so I do like that. But again, part of what is I started doing some research on it and found out how much. So there was a I can't remember if it was an ad or a trailer. It was during the Super Bowl because do you know that the Super Bowl weekend, wherever that city is, human trafficking, purchase of human trafficking skyrockets like 300% in that city
My
because
God.
all the people coming in, for the Super Bowl, they're buying flesh, and it's sad. There was a one of the really most powerful commercials I've ever seen. That they had an 18-wheeler, and they had they had transparent walls, but inside that 18-wheeler they had all these kids just thrown in, and like they were just driving around the city. That they were being trafficked, but the idea was I'm not sure whether it was a two-way or not, whether the kids from inside could see out. But you could, as an 18-wheeler drove by, you could see in there. Of course, it was dirty and filthy, and they were young and sad and crying, and it was a pretty poignant. Again, I don't remember if it was an advertisement during the Super Bowl or just one of those things you found on YouTube when all that stuff was happening. I don't remember. But yeah, that was, and of course, again, being a parent of two kids, they were younger when I first started conceiving of a lot of this. So, it spoke to me.
So how did you find? Because it's one thing to have an idea of like, oh, human trafficking. That's a sad but also interesting story element. How do you make a plot for that with your characters?
Well, so yeah, I like that question. So, the first idea is, oh, well, I'm just going to put them in New Orleans, and then they're just going to go after human traffickers, right? Because
as heroes do.
As heroes do. That's right. That's what they're tasked with, right? But part of me got to thinking, wouldn't it be better if this was more personal? Wouldn't it be better if one of them had been trafficked and the other has to get them out? And this is what when they emerge from that scenario, then they're both super motivated to put a stop to it because they've seen it up close and personal, and it means something more to them than it's like, we could talk about wars, Ukraine, Afghanistan, Iran. Those are way over there, right? And those aren't really up close and personal. I guess I don't know. None of you were in Iran or Iraq, were you? I
don't leave the country.
Yeah. So, the thing about it is we hear about it and we think about these things. We're like, oh no, go USA. Not a lot of people die, please. Right. But when it's up close and personal to you, I think it means more. And so, I thought about having Kat be because one of the statistics that not a lot of people realize is that young males are one of the highest trafficked demographic of all. I would have thought it was females, but young males are one of the highest trafficked demographics. So I considered Kat for a long time, but then I decided I don't think I want to do that. And there's partly the reason is for things I can't talk about because I have plans that I want to do with not only Mouse but her sister, which is his ex-fiance.
Right.
So yeah, so I just wanted to make it personal to them rather than them just going in and say, let's fix this.
But don't you think that's why? Because you said earlier that, I don't know why people don't talk about this all the time and don't talk about it much. But I think there's a lot of stuff that we don't talk about a lot. And because there's so much going on. There's so much bad stuff. You could devote your entire day to thinking about the bad stuff and never get anything done and just be sad all day.
Yeah.
And so I think a lot of us don't focus on any particular issue until it becomes personal.
Yeah.
And I don't think that makes us bad people. I think it just means that we're overloaded. And until something really affects us directly, we don't get involved. We don't protest. We don't put on costumes and fight crime.
That's right. Yeah. Well, and I think too, there's a lot of how can I step lightly around this? I think there's a lot of faux rage. There's a lot of rage that folks are raging about stuff that's not really an issue. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying?
Well, I think here I'll get us all in trouble. I think what happens is there's a part of society, like you said, more young males are trafficked than females.
Yeah.
And there's a part of society that would go, oh, that's awful. We have to put a stop to that. And then there's another part of society that would just argue with you about, oh no, that's wrong.
Right.
And you would get distracted by the problem because you're fighting over the statistics.
Right.
And I think that's probably what's wrong with a lot of people is they would rather argue the points, the finer points of whatever, than look at the problem.
Yeah.
Because it's easier to argue with you about, why you're wrong than it is to actually look at the problem.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And nobody wants to talk about bad news stuff anyway. I mean,
no.
My wife brought up like, hey, let's talk about the kind of tombstones we want. Like, yeah, let's do that tomorrow. That's a tomorrow problem.
Yeah. We need to make up our will. Now hold on.
Right. Yeah. Like, listen, I started off with nothing. I still got some of it left. So
you get half of my nothing.
Right. But yeah, like nobody wants to talk about that. Like my brother brought up, listen, when mom's not a young chicken anymore. I was like, no, we're good. How's your day? Like, let's not talk about that. So when it comes to bad things that, like you said, like that doesn't directly affect you at that moment, you really don't want to talk about. Like most people don't want to talk about.
And when you get together, again, this is how horrible I think people are, including especially myself. When I get together with my friends, we're not going to talk about world problems.
No.
We put in a long day at work. It's the weekend. We're all going to go out to a movie, or we're all going to go out to dinner or whatever. We're not going to, hey, how about that horrible thing? It's like, no, I don't know.
You're talking about the cool thing.
Yeah.
You're talking about the cool movie, the cool game, the cool book, the cool comic.
Because you're out with friends. What are you reading? What are you watching? What are you doing? What are you binging? It's like,
yeah.
So, I mean, I know that makes me a horrible person, but that's
no. I think that just makes you a person, a normal person.
Yeah. Terrible person. I can't even believe it. Terrible person.
Yeah.
If you look up awful in the dictionary, there's my picture.
All right.
Pop says, I have a friend who was a teenage troublemaker who changed his life and became a cop after a drug deal gone bad, killed a couple of kids from our hood.
Wow.
Man. Yeah, he is
still. So in essence, he put on a costume.
Yep. Yeah, you're right. So he had an event that changed his life, and he put on a costume and fights crime.
Public Batman.
Because some people, I mean, people who become priests do that. People who become firemen do that. I mean, you can. I don't mean this in a demeaning way, but it is a costume. It is like fighting crime by putting on, a suit.
I agree. It's a uniform.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, I agree. I think and of course there's a topic for one today is the superhero costumes, right?
Oh, that is a good topic.
That's coming up.
Because I know Mike has strong opinions.
Very.
Yeah. Yeah. So what else? Other questions?
I got one for Jose.
Okay, ask.
When you first started getting Angelo's pencils in, as an artist yourself, how do you approach the inking? As far as what you want to add to it, but not make sure you're not smothering what he's doing.
I mean, Angelo's, I don't want to say his pencils, I feel, start off a little loose. And so we actually had conversation about, hey, what's going on like here and what if I did this? Like if I had anything that I had a question about, he was very quick to get back to me on. But I pretty much looked at it, held it upside down, and then figured out where my shadows were going to be. To be honest with you, doing them digitally, it makes it a little easier because we just rotate. But like, he was very easygoing in regards, like when he set up a scene in a panel with like background details and stuff like that. He put the key elements in there, and if I wanted to throw a couple little things here and there, you know what I mean, to add my own creativity to it as well, like he didn't have a problem with it. And I think I only hit him up a few times, for anything that I actually had a question about. But like other than that, like I mean, it was pretty easygoing. Inking over Angelo's pencils, like I liked them. Like I got them in. I was really excited right out the gate.
And pretty cool. I mean, like I said, the stuff I've seen, I think it looks tight. Looks nice, and I think it showcases both of you very well.
Well,
and then you throw reverse colors on it, they look even better.
Thank you.
Yeah, and he got a great sense of action for his poses. Like, I mean, just I can
love
definitely
the
tell that
framing.
there's some manga influence. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
yeah, it was so much fun. Like the action scenes, and my favorite. I'll be honest, my favorite throughout the entire book was the little kid with the bear and footy jammies. Like every time I would ink that guy in, that little kid, it's so much fun. I'm just smiling while I'm doing it.
So is this the first time you've inked him?
This is the first time I've inked in Angelo's work. Yeah.
So Roland, what caused you to match him up?
Hold on here. I'm trying to get some so I can share. So this is page 1. These are Angelo's pencils here.
Yep.
And then let me find the inks. Here's the inks. Whoops, wrong page.
Still good though.
Yeah.
Still a good page.
I see what
Yeah,
Jose
he's
means
a
by
whole lot.
shadows.
Yeah.
And then color.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Oh, look at that. And that's Roberta,
Yeah.
right?
That is Roberta. Yep.
Nice. Look at the sky.
I love how
We're
the
very
sky
made us all
background was
agree.
done. Just the shapes, complement so much the action that's happening. And that
Yeah.
squeezing feeling. It's like it all kind of
Right.
mimics that
So
condensation.
So Roberta, when you get a page that's inked like this, what's the first thing you do?
I ask myself where I want to look first. And, I always have the decision whether or not I'm going to alter the colors of the main character, in a mood lighting or not in order to make that happen. But most of the time I can make it work with the background. So because we don't have a particular color in mind for the background building, I can make it, thrown with a lot of lighting. So that can set off the main character, and having red in the snake really helps.
Right.
Ooh, I love that.
Well, that bottom bit of darkness, it just gives you the sense of just the depth of how it goes into the shadow like that.
Right. But it also gives you a good place to put the credits. And the title.
Exactly.
Yeah. As you can see here. Yeah. Let's see. Then this is page 2. Angelo's pencils here.
It's good storytelling.
Yeah.
I love that little kid.
Yeah. Like I said, I love the movement in it. There's page 2 inks.
Look at that. Look at the shadows. I see what Jose was saying about the shadows.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I love it. Look at that snake right there. Just peering out of the, yeah.
I like the perplexed look in the middle.
Right here.
What?
What?
That's funny.
And then
That's the what the hell panel.
And then
right
here.
Man, look at that.
I know.
That's awesome.
It's fun to watch it build and become the final thing.
Yeah. So here's one of the cool things I think. Right. So I know just before we went live, I was telling you guys I had a whole cast of snakes, right? And I have particular snakes that I wanted to do particular things. And so in this scene, right, this is the red-bellied mud snake. Mm-hmm. So I had to send Roberta to a page. Okay, Roberta, here's what the red-bellied mud snake looks like.
Mm-hmm.
Also,
yeah, so the photo.
Let's be honest, the herpetologist who names snakes missed it. Red belly mud snake is not really it's not clever like rattlesnake or copperhead or
right. Yeah. Well, the other snake that pops up in this scene is the racer.
Yeah, I like the racer.
Oh, that's a great name.
Yeah. So
now these are real snakes, right? These aren't guys in snake costumes and snake hats, right?
Right. These are real snakes. Yeah. These are snake beings.
Snake beasts.
So they're like kaiju. They're like it's Godzilla but snakes.
Yeah. Again, I love it. Here we go. We got a snake, peeking his head out of the shadows here. I love that. Right. We can see him here, just barely. Right. Mm-hmm. And then sneaking out here, and then boom, he makes his appearance here. Scares the crap out of Cat. All right, so then the inks.
And just to keep it solid, that scene at the bottom, just having him come out at him, so dramatic.
Yeah.
Which is something that you can do in comics, because 1 minute he's just peeking out and the next minute, boom, he's there.
Yeah.
You don't have to show everything.
And then boom. And see, yeah. So see, here's our racer. He's different color, so you're not going to get the two snakes confused.
Right.
No.
Well, I also gave him different eye color just in case.
Yeah.
If it helped.
Yeah. And then there's page 4.
I also like the way cat and mouse are designed, so you can see their eyes, you can get their expression.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not a full mask that they wear.
Yeah. Because then you don't want the artist having to pull the Todd McFarlane with the Spider-Man eyes, right? The mask, where the mask actually has emotions.
Yeah, it has to contort the face.
Yeah,
that's what I like about Mike's Man in the Mask too, is you can see, even though it's a mask, it covers his eyes. It doesn't really cover his eyes. It just hides his eyebrows and some of his face, but you can still see the expression through his eyes.
Yeah. So another great look. All the action, all the movement in this, just your eyes just go right. And then of course here's Jose's inks.
It looks tinier now. There it is.
Sorry.
So it seems like, even though this is a serious subject and a touchy topical issue, it's still a superhero comic about people fighting giant snakes.
Yes.
And I think that shouldn't be lost on the audience, is that if you're looking for the best snake fighting comic in the modern era, this is it. This brings it. It's like, if you've said to yourself, "Hey, I would love to see a Copperhead fight some superheroes," it's like this. Is your thing.
Yeah.
So while it's an important message, I think the snake message is equally as important.
Yeah. Well, and of course, you guys know, you've known me long enough. I mean, I think that's what comics ought to be. Comics are supposed to be fun. And while I think this is an important topic, I still think it ought to be fun. I want you to, when you're reading this, I want you to go, "Oh, cool! Oh, look at that! Oh, right." That's the reaction I want you to have when you're reading it.
Well, I always think that helps a message sort of resonate with comic book readers, because nobody wants large word balloons explaining an issue to them.
No. Yeah.
Hey, you got one backer already.
Woot woot!
Yeah.
Hey, can you go see who it is so we can say that they were first?
First.
And Roland's going to come to his house and cook dinner.
Let me.
Let
me
get
go see who it is.
Is it Hyper Potato?
It might be Hyper Potato. It's Matthew Nish.
Matthew Nish, come on down.
Matthew, thank you so much.
You're the next contestant on Fun My Comic
for being backer number 1. So
I think you'll love it.
Yeah, I think so too.
Jose, I'll draw you a sketch.
Yeah,
my man.
So yeah, I think that was. I just loaded up 4 pages there. What is? Oh yeah, that was the letters. Okay.
So where do, unless this gives away the plot, I don't want to know it, but where do giant snakes come from in this world?
Eggs.
Yeah.
We don't get to know yet.
Let's hold off that answer for a little bit.
Okay, but there is a story behind it.
There is a story behind it.
Lab somewhere.
There is
Mommy and Daddy snakes love each other very much.
That's right. They go out to dinner. And
That's right, baby. Baby, how babies are made.
Yeah, they meet it. They go to the snake prom.
Yeah. They're absolutely there's absolutely a story behind them. Let's hold off talking about that one just yet.
It's,
so if I know
it's in the secret underground sewers of New Orleans.
So
Remember, there is no underground sewers in New Orleans.
I was gonna say,
no, yeah. So snakes do live in holes in the ground. So
Right.
Yeah.
there is going to be a snake pit. I can just assure you of
Yay.
that.
Viper snake pit. Ooh.
Yes, there is a snake pit that we will see. That
Sounds
will
like
have
fun with lighting.
all 12 of them. What'd you say, lighting?
Yeah, the lighting.
Concur about the snake pit.
Yeah,
Of course, that's what Roberta
It'll be
thinks
real
of.
dark. It'll
That's
be
what
real
I
dark.
want. Yeah.
Although Snake Pit sounds like a Dale Keown team up comic.
Yeah, right. Snake and pit. Yeah. Yeah. So the cool news is this issue's finished. Number 2 is all penciled and it's in Jose's hands now.
That's awesome.
Jose has got another project he's wrapping up, and as soon as he wraps that up, he's going to be able to jump onto it. So
What's he working on?
Obsolete.
Can't say yet.
Yeah.
Obsolete.
I knew. I was just
Pencil
wondering.
for Osprey 3.
That's,
Yeah, issue
that's
number
the story
3.
of my career.
And that's what he's doing.
The story of Tom's career.
He's doing the pencils and the inks on. Isn't that correct? That's what I hear?
That is correct.
Oh, that's
Okay.
So who do you call when you want to understand what the penciler's doing?
You know, my kids. What? Here, just ink that in. I'll tell Roland I did it. You're good. Sorry,
Okay.
you're young. It doesn't count.
I got a
Actually,
question for
what he'll
Jose.
do, he'll post the page. He goes, "Can you understand what's going on here?"
You're right.
Well, you know what? Everybody needs a friend like that, right? Because sometimes
Right.
when you're working alone in your studio, whether you're writing or drawing, it's like, this makes perfect sense to me, but I better show it to somebody.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
So I have a
Well,
question
so
for
I
Jose.
do that. So yeah, go ahead. You're good.
No, you go ahead. I don't want to interrupt you. Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, I usually share stuff that I do with my daughter. She's about to be 18, but I usually share stuff with her because she also draws and she taught herself how to animate or do animatics on Clip Studio on her own. But there are like if I have to like, Gaps, what do you think about this? Like, what do you think about like my line, weight, and shadows and stuff like that?
Right.
And then she'll give me like a little critique and whatnot. She don't want to be mean because she don't want to get grounded, but. So, like stuff like that, and I show my wife, and my wife.
I don't want to hear what you got to say. It doesn't matter what you.
Stop talking about me, Dad.
Whoops.
So my question was almost just answered because we were talking to Mike over the last several months, and his son has become a really top-notch colorist, being interested in comics. And it sounds like your daughter has an interest in the same kind of, in some aspects of the field as well. Does that come from you? Does that come from hanging around you?
I think maybe a little bit of both. She doesn't necessarily have an interest in comics per se, but she loves doing artwork. She'll do
right.
So funny enough, 2 years ago, she started tabling at a convention with me, and she just wanted to go for her first convention. She just wanted to go and walk around and cosplay and stuff like that. And then she got bored. She's like, "Yeah, can I sit down here?" I'm like, "Yeah, I don't care." And she's like, "Yeah, can I have some sketch cards of drawing? Because I'm bored." I'm like, "Sure, here's a stack of sketch cards. Have fun." And she was just doodling on them and then throwing them on the table. It's like, "Here, I'm going to throw them away when I'm done." And so she saw one of her friends that took off walking again. So I just kind of displayed them out on the table and put my daughter's sketch cards, $3 a card, right? She sold every single one of them.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So for 2 years now, she's been tabling with me. Any convention that I go to that I get a table for myself, I usually get a table for her. And she has outsold me at every convention except for one.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah. I'm gonna stop. I told you, I'm gonna stop selling stuff for myself and just start being her manager, so I don't have to worry about it.
Be her agent.
Yeah.
Right.
It's
30% off the top goes to you.
That's right.
Real.
Agent Cub says, "What's going on? What are we talking about tonight? What's up, Agent? We're talking about our campaign here. That how do I get to put it back up there? No, not that. Where did it go? There it is. There we go.
It was like I'm going back in time for a second.
Right.
And then Stuart says, "I think comics."
Yeah, that's right. We might end up talking about comics tonight.
are delicious.
Yeah.
Say the URL one more time. There it is. Silverline Comic Crowdfunder.com.
That's right. Get on
So,
over
Roland,
there. Yes.
neither one of your kids had an interest in going into comics, did they?
Nope.
They ran.
They
Right.
did not. Neither one of them have an interest.
How does that make you feel, Roland?
You know,
Because Mike's son is gone into comics as a terrific colorist, and Jose's daughter is outselling him at conventions, and your kids are
Right.
like, no, Dad.
My son's amazing. That dude's so cool.
you know, here's what I'm gonna say. I think they saw the heartache that comes with making comics, and they said, "Yeah,
Right.
I want my heartache to be somewhere else."
Right.
Comics will break your heart, kid.
Comics will definitely break your heart.
Yes,
Well, I think-
yes,
I think if
will.
you go into it thinking that comics are going to be your career and you're going to make a living at it, that's when it will break your heart.
But here's let me add the asterisk. But what I will say is that I think by me doing it, don't know about my son yet. It's still the jury's still out with him. I think it certainly encouraged my daughter to chase the thing that she loves. She's doing
That's
the
cool.
thing that she loves to do,
Yep.
and she realizes that it might not be her career, but that doesn't mean that she can't chase it. So you guys know, you've heard her. She sings, she performs. That's something that she
She sang
really
for us
wants.
for Christmas one year.
Yeah, she
So
sure
then
did. Yeah.
here's a serious take on that. Do you think that by showing your dad skills as perseverance of a thing you love is the lesson that you taught them?
I do. I think so.
Absolutely.
I think so.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. I think so.
I think that's a solid dad legacy.
Well, I appreciate that. And I hope that they, you guys know, anyone who's listened to us, and of course you guys know, I do this because I love this stuff. I love comics. I love making comics, and as long as I am able, that's what I want to be able to do. As long as I have cool collaborators like you guys here, this is what I want to do. I forgot where I was going with that.
It's love.
You were gonna make me cry, is what you were gonna do.
So, yeah, I just
Can't
think
afford
that,
my vintage truck yet, but
what's that?
can't afford my vintage truck yet, but
No, I still have my eyes on it, but I can't afford it yet. Yeah, so yeah, I hope that's what they're able to do as well. So I have a question for Jose and then for Roberta.
Great.
So obviously I came to you and said, "Hey, Jose, I got this thing, got a penciler. Do you want to ink it?" What drew you to say yes to inking Cat and Mouse? To say yes, I want to work on this project with you and Angelo and Roberta.
so I feel it's two things, right? First one was I already knew Angelo, sort of, right?
Okay.
We went to school together. He was, I believe, the year behind me, or 2 years. I think he was 2 years behind me at the Cuber school. And so, like, I'd already talked to him briefly in passing. And the second was that when you explained to me that it's a superhero vigilante story with the underlying story of human trafficking, I was in right at the gate, because at the time, and still actually currently, my wife does a lot of reading about human trafficking. She was doing a paper on it for her post-grad. And so if I said no to inking in this book, she might beat me up. So I had to say yes. And so in doing that, like I had to explain to her, listen, it's still a comic book. It's still like superhero. It's not going to really go into statistics and stuff like that. She's like, okay. And so showing her the page, hey babe, like this is the page I have done. She's seen what I was talking about, and then she's also seen like about the little kids and stuff like that, and some other parts that I can't talk about because I only just started inking those. But she, you know what I mean, she's invested as well. I mean, she always is, because she's my wife, and legally she has to like everything I do. But
She said I do, so
right. I do means everything. I do. I like. I can.
Uh-huh.
So like I like the idea that she's invested in it as well, but like it's because of that, like those factors, like Angelo already knowing Angelo and like seeing some of his work and whatnot, and because it's also a subject that my wife likes, not necessarily like, but like
Right,
is
right.
invested in
She's
that,
interested in, yeah.
yeah, and it kind of keeps her invested in giving me actual like critique as opposed to I like. So
Yeah.
Mhm.
Cool.
those are the reasons why.
Cool. Roberta, what about you?
Well, there's a couple things. You caught me. I like the series that you started.
Yeah.
I liked that the kind of tone that it took when you started the story, using Kevin G, and having seen that flesh out. It was a really exciting cast of characters too, and you had some interesting characters coming up like Demon.
Mhm.
It's like, yeah, I think New Orleans was top. And then when I found out it's about human trafficking, that's also, just like everyone else said, it's got heart. It's got something, a message that is important. And it's not, just simple entertainment, but it's a
Right.
really interesting perspective for them to try to weed that out of the city.
Yeah.
So yeah. So for the drama and the characters and the plot, all of it. And the history. Yeah.
Very cool.
And also working
that
with you
brings up
guys.
Yeah.
So follow up.
Yeah.
I have a follow up question then. So in looking at the inked art,
Mhm.
I see that there are a lot of nice areas that are left open for color,
Mhm.
and a place where you can.
I
And the
love
way it's
that.
set up. Okay, so that also seems like it's a determining factor as well too. That there's some room for you to be creative,
Well,
even though
yeah,
it's
I
already
mean,
penciled in ink.
you don't always get that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that gives me a lot more choice. I can decide the level of texture. I can decide the color tones can shift more, and there's just a lot more I can say when there's some room.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm really glad that you say that because I was kind of taught I don't have to put ink on every inch of the page, and
Right.
so like even doing it digital, like I hope that that's enough.
Yeah, but I mean,
cover the whole thing.
you tell the story. It's like you need to have the ink have some weight to it and have some direction to it, and that's all there. So that's what you need to convey
Awesome.
the storytelling.
Yep.
But having every single texture figured out, that's just too much work. And one of the things I think color can do brilliant job of is take a suggestion and your mind will fill out the rest. You don't have to have every single little thing in there for it to read.
Yeah.
And inkers that do every single little bit, you got to color every single little bit, and then you're kind of bogged down with texture.
Right.
Yeah, not everything is 1980s George Perez.
Oh, that's right. We got two backers now. And
first and second.
I misread the first one. Lawrence Bell and Patrick Seeley.
Thank you.
Yeah, so Lawrence and
you,
Pops. Thank you, Pops. Thank you, Lawrence Bell,
Thanks,
for supporting. For supporting our campaign. It is very much appreciated. Well, I will tell you this. This story is going to be no stranger to bringing in familiar characters. There will be a character that is introduced at the end of the second issue that I think will be a big surprise to many readers.
Yay!
Guest stars.
The character, yes, guest stars. The character is familiar to readers, but it might not be who you think it is.
Is it Superman?
It's Mike in comic form.
You can't say that. DC's listening.
Is it Batman?
Spider-Man is going to be in there.
DC's listening.
Look, because Marvel had a standard policy where Spider-Man had to be in the second issue of every new comic. So I'm just asking. Could it be Spider-Man?
Is it Godzilla?
Oh,
Godzilla.
He wants to know why his snakes are out. Who
That's right.
left the lid on the cage?
Who let the snakes out?
Well, I need to ask if anyone has any
Not the first time
other
saying that.
color questions because I've got to run a little early today. So
I'm out of color questions because I don't know
that's
anything.
okay.
You know, my main one was the for both you and Jose is like what attracted you to the project that made you say, hey, this is something I want to
Because
do.
what Roland really wants is to hear, it was that great script by Roland Mann. They really.
Yeah. So here's where I know that's not 100% true. The answer because Roberta said, she goes, hey, I need more notes from you. There's not enough here.
That's right.
What's going on?
She had this one. She goes,
You know,
I
daytime,
need this to
nighttime?
me. She gave me a list. I need this, and I'm like,
Well, you know what it was? You had a script and you didn't send it to me. That's all. Little detail.
He's only the writer.
Script.
Well, also though, I remember you said, I don't know what time of day.
Yes, I need time of day.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
didn't
that's like the
have-
most important thing for
I do the same thing.
for penciler, inker, and colorist. They all got another time of day.
Yeah. So
I mean, they can make that decision, but you can't always tell.
right. Yeah, we didn't want to have another snow is fire.
Yeah, I know the snow is fire.
I had a book I worked on, and I colored it in, and as soon as I was done, I sent it back to the editor. He's like, "Hey, this is supposed to be a night scene." Oh, I didn't know that.
Not anymore.
We'll fix it in post production.
Tell the colors to use dark blue.
You can't slide that hue and saturation just to change. Nope. I have to go back and fix it.
Select it
no.
and make it dark.
Darn.
Right.
So much for all the
It's always
stars.
the first thing I do. Like, this is not supposed to be this color. This is supposed to be this. I'm like, all right, hue and saturation slider. Dang it.
Yeah. Stuart asked who let the snakes out. That's right.
All will be revealed.
Right.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Well, if Roberta has to run,
I
we
do,
should-
but
we should say
thank you all. It's
thanks
been
for
a
coming
great
on.
Thank you,
show.
Roberta, for making
Thanks,
our
Roberta.
look beautiful.
Later on,
Oh,
Roberta.
thank you too.
Yeah,
Likewise.
colors
It's
are
come
fantastic.
together. Yay.
Yeah.
I think we all work together great. This has just been
I think so too.
really seamless team.
I like the way I stayed out of it and let you guys do your work.
Me too.
That's my key contribution to everything.
Thanks everyone. And good luck.
Bye,
Bye,
Roberta.
Roberta.
Talk to you later.
Anyway, yeah. So yeah, I'm excited about the guest star who will show up at the end of the next issue. So I think.
Now, did you have, without giving it away, did you have that guest star in mind when you started writing it, or did you get to a point where it's like, you know what, this guest star could really pick this up?
Or is it like with the champion thing where all of a sudden the inker said, you know, it'd be really cool if you had it this way.
Yeah. No, it was not that. No, it was a second there, Tom. And writing it, I'm like, oh man, you know who would be good to put right here? And
Yeah.
it just worked. It just worked.
That's a thing that I love about process is that you get to a point where you're kind of stuck. And that's, what can I do? And it's like, oh, I know what I can do.
Oh, and now that you've heard this, you're going to see it. And you go, yeah, I see it now.
Yeah. I see where Roland pulled it from.
Yep.
I see where he thought this was a good idea.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
so
I've already printed out the pencils for that page, and I have it taped to a board. I just haven't done anything with it yet.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah, because I was talking to Angelo about it. He's like, oh yeah, Roland had mentioned about like having like physical stuff like that, which is funny because I didn't remember that at all doing the first book. And I was like, oh yeah, he did say that. So yeah, I printed that page out. Yeah.
Nice. All right, what about it, Chad? You guys got y'all are kind of quiet tonight. You guys got any questions before we run out of time here?
Yeah, usually somebody comes by and tries to sell us crypto, and I don't even see them.
Yeah, I know. Chat's been a little quiet tonight.
Little, it's Tommy on his second account trying to sell you crypto.
Yeah,
Tommy Coin is what it's called.
Tommy Coin. There,
Glam coins.
oh,
I mean, it hasn't been the craziest one yet. So
actually, a couple Am cash.
Yeah.
Oh, that would
And
be a good
Tommy
one.
coin.
K-Bucks.
Ooh, K-Bucks with an X.
Bitcoin.
BUX.
Yeah. Yeah.
KB coin?
What coin?
KB?
coin? Yeah, KB coin. Yeah, so let me pop this cover up there again.
I love that.
So yeah.
cover.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
do too.
it's a sweet
Now
cover.
the white logo is where all the foil is going to be in the shiny stuff,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
Right. It'll be
Yeah, wherever there's white will be strictly foil shining through. Otherwise, the toner sits on top of it.
yeah.
Right.
So like
Yeah,
this
but it's
where you
still
see it's all foil there.
Right.
Right. So this is what it looks like without
Now that's because the printer has that special foily paper, right?
yes.
Special shiny
Yeah.
but
paper.
that still means the background is still going to be like foily and whatnot, right? Like
Yeah.
holographic-y foily.
Yeah.
No, everything else,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean it's still gonna be like you can see
Yeah, I
this.
think it's
Right?
so cool.
Yeah.
Like when I
That's
first
gonna
saw
be
that with was it team ups.
Yeah.
That just was awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's going to be the foil cover, and then of course this will be this is cover B, and then cover C. I've still got to come up with some text for this, but I haven't come up with that yet. So it didn't quite sing to me the way that this one did.
Here be snakes.
As far as the text goes,
This snake, this man.
this snake, this
Make
man.
this man.
Yeah.
Who let the snakes out? Come on.
Yeah.
There
right
you
there.
go. It's already written.
Yeah, we can give it the credit to Stewart.
That's right.
Yeah, so these are awesome, and the interiors are equally awesome. So I am stoked. I am stoked about it.
It's a good looking book. You guys should all be proud.
Absolutely. All right. Well, if no one has any questions, we will go ahead and bring this to an end. We have been on here.
Oh, I have a question.
Yeah,
One
fire
question.
away.
Hey, are we going to get blank covers for it?
We'll make sure that happens for you. Yeah.
I love blank covers.
We will absolutely. Yeah. The funny thing is, we did try some of those early, but no one really wanted them. But they're easy to do, so
Right.
I'll make sure that we get them done for you.
So that brings up an interesting question, at least to me, is how easy is it to draw on that cardstock paper, and what pen or ink do you use?
It's good. You can draw on it.
Yeah, I draw on a lot.
Oh, I think I've still got one that he did.
Tommy uses every ink. It doesn't matter where it comes from.
Okay. So it's a really nice paper then.
Yeah.
You can draw on it. It's fine. It holds ink pretty good. I mean, you can't. I mean, it's not Strathmore paper or anything like that,
Right.
but it's
still workable.
It's good
It's
enough.
a nice Bristol
Yeah,
smooth.
you can watercolor on it too if you're just real careful if you need to, or use markers. Or whatever.
But it's not a bleedy kind of paper where you're it's not
Yeah,
it's not gonna spread.
if you go too slow, anything will bleed.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, see?
This is a sketch cover that Jose did for obviously Silverline Team Up.
that's nice.
Look how good this looks.
Hello.
Hello, and ladies, he's single.
Right. Yeah. So, Jose, we'll talk about that. We'll talk about maybe seeing how we could add maybe sketch covers to the campaign.
Cool.
All right. Yeah.
And add them to Jose's house as well.
Yes.
That's right.
Listen,
Yeah.
I love working on sketch covers, and especially if it's a book that I worked on. Like, I really love having sketch covers. So.
Okay.
Also, I think Jose's daughter might like to look at those sketch covers.
Charge her a family discount of $20 each.
Yeah. So I know it's real easy to do. I mean, literally, it's just for us, all we do is print the logo. Oh well, you can't see it now. We just print the logo, and the rest of it is blank. So it's really easy. It's really easy for us to do. There we go. All right. Woody says, clap, snout, snort. Hello, piggies.
And waving? I think wave
No,
in front of the nose. Are you saying the
I'm
same?
not good with the emojis. I'm good with the graphics.
I'm not sure. Yeah, better.
I think the answer is yes.
See?
Whatever you wrote.
Pop says I added a note to my pledge, Roland. I don't know how to see that. How do I see that? Well, I'll figure that out in a bit. It's a snort. Woody says it's a snort. Oh,
excellent.
Oh, okay.
So, all right. Yeah. Okay. So, any appearances? Tom, you're going to be at.
I'll be at WonderCon starting Thursday morning. I got some people to see and some hands to shake and some COVID to catch. So I'm.
No.
I'm going to be right there.
Did have plans.
Avoid COVID. Avoid the.
Take your pocket hand sanitizer.
Maybe I'll get measles too while I'm at it. So.
I mean, if you go for one, you might as well get the set, right?
Get the trifecta. Get respiratory illness, get COVID, and get measles, and then it's like tic tac toe at that point.
What's the adult chicken pox? Shingles.
Shingles. Yeah.
No, I've been double vaccinated for that, so I'm
okay.
I'm ACEs.
My mom got that recently. Oh, she said it was terrible.
Yeah, I can stand next to shingles all day long because I got the vaccine.
Woody says you got to catch that COVID before the COVID catches you.
I've already had it at least once, so
yeah.
Wish it on anyone.
That's a preemptive game.
That's right.
All right. Anybody else doing the shows? So anyone who's going to WonderCon, seek out, find Tom, take a picture with him.
I'll be there. That's right. Just look for the guy who drank from the false grail.
Mike, Jose, y'all doing shows coming up?
No.
I got one May 10th. Yeah.
Sorry, both of you talked at the same time, and I didn't hear you.
It was like,
Gotcha. I got some stuff lining up. I'll have some dates soon.
All right.
Okay. And
May 10th, I have a SiestaCon, which is in Sarasota. Last year was the first year, and it's actually pretty good. It was a really good show. So I'm showing up again this year. Taking my daughter so she can outsell me.
There you go.
Let's see here. Geekman, Masters of Thunder say, hey, how's it going, y'all? Geekman, we're gonna holler at you about coming and talking about our campaign on your show.
Also, some of you there.
Go ahead.
Some of you guys do that.
Yes. If anyone wants to come out tomorrow to Monday Madness, I will pimp this book. What time is that?
5 p.m.
5 p.m. That's something you can make, Jose?
Yeah, possibly.
Okay.
He was checking with somebody. You can tell.
That's
he was
right.
looking at somebody standing over.
He's got. I can't make it tomorrow, unfortunately.
No, I was thinking. I was like, what else do I have going on during the day?
Yeah. Congrats on the launch. Thank you, Geeky Man. Much appreciated. Yeah, Madness Pop says, I'd love to talk to Jose. We'll work on it. We'll work on it, Pops. All right, Tuesday. That Silverline show on Tuesday. Elements, and which Jose will be there. He'll be one of them. Elements of a great splash page. The crew discusses what all the elements of a great splash page are, from the writing to illustrations, colors, and shading. That's Tuesday. Wednesday, there will be a show on Wednesday.
All right. I love the theme of that one. That was good.
I have no idea what they're going to be talking about Wednesday. Next week, Mr. Tom Mason is going to host for me because I will be on the road and will not be able to be here.
Not even for a drive-by.
I don't think for a drive-by. I think I'm not sure. I'm not sure I can pull a Tommy and like punch my phone while I'm driving.
It's just easy. You just hold it there.
Look, the state police don't care.
Woody, I love this joke. I think I've told it. I told it to Jose once. Jose, can you see by the dawn's early light? I told you that, right?
Hey, I'm sure. I'll bet Jose has never heard that before.
Never.
Never. Anyway, next Sunday, Favorite comic book movies. Tom and the crew are going to talk about their favorite comic book movies and why. And you know what? They'll probably also talk about their least favorite comic book movies.
That's right. And well. I will take the hit because I will tell you that the Michael Keaton, Tim Burton Batman movies suck.
But here's where Tom and I both agree.
Yes.
Best Batman movie ever, Tom.
Lego Batman.
Lego Batman is the best Batman movie ever.
Love every brick.
This is what I have to listen to, Jose. I enjoy the movie, but it's not the greatest. It's not the greatest.
No, I will tell you. So here's where I draw the line, Mike, and we can argue about this next week. I think Michael Keaton is the best Bruce Wayne. I love it. I find the movie mostly tedious, and I don't think it holds up as it did when I originally saw it.
Yeah, we'll have to talk about it.
We'll talk about it on next.
All right.
That is next Sunday. You guys don't forget to tune in. Don't forget to head down to our campaign, Silverline, www.silverlinecomicscrowdfunder.com. And remember, until next time, remember to
make
mine Silverline. Good night, everyone.
On the tube and feel the vibe. Every show you crave right here live. Heroes and villains clash in the night. Madness Comic Network sets it right. Scroll through the list, find what you need. Epic battles and fast-paced speed. From capes to cosmic space delight. Tune in and watch your favorites ignite. On Facebook, share the thrill so grand. On X, the buzz across the land. Madness Comic Network all around. In every episode, joy is found. Uploads, they never end. Superheroes and their friends. Catch every twist and every turn. Madness Comic, you will yearn. Stay up to date with every twist. Madness Comic, don't miss a gist. From laughter to tears, every mood. Madness Comic sets the groove. Click that button and subscribe. Catch the wave and ride the tide. Join the fun, join the craze. Madness Comic brightens days. New uploads, they never end. Superheroes and their friends. Catch every twist and every turn. Madness Comic, you will yearn. Stay up to date with every twist. Madness Comic, don't miss a gist. From laughter to tears, every mood. Madness Comic sets the groove. Click that button and subscribe. Catch the wave and ride the tide. Join the fun, join the craze. Madness Comic brightens days.
Hi, I'm Greg Horn. Make mine Silverline.